Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're checking out a recent release from Suyata as a part of their Hunter's Poem line of mecha musume kits. This is the fourth kit in the line. I've actually not built any of them so far, so it'll be my first time trying out a mecha musume kit from Suyata. This one is Swallow. Pretty cool looking design. You guys can keep your minds out of the gutter on that one, but obviously named after the bird and has some kind of bird-like characteristics, I guess, in that it sort of has like this kind of wing feature going on there. And I guess the color scheme also, swallows are kind of have black on them too, don't they? Black and reddish color scheme maybe, right? Anyway, so it looks like a cool kit. Unfortunately, my box is a little banged up, but the kit itself looks like it's going to be a pretty fun one. Quite interesting design. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Even though my box has unfortunately seen better days, as you can see, the illustration work on this is really nice. There on the front, got the full action plastic model kit. No cement is required for assembly. Down there at the bottom on the ends of the box, the same illustration there, just cropped a little bit differently. On one side here, we've got some renders of like the actual model kit there, rendered in the same pose as the artwork on the front, and then showing kind of the bare version without all the armor and everything, which looks like it has some clear black parts there for the limbs, which is pretty interesting. All the weapon stuff, you're able to stand up on the stand there, it looks like. That also looks pretty cool as a display, and then holding a weapon here and the kite shape, which is like the backpack part of it. So all very cool. On the other side, a look at our face parts that we've got for this one with the mask, one with a kind of open angry face, and then one with your kind of standard slightly smiling face. A look at some of the articulation, the decals included, and again, the kit there, some other detail images right there. So all looks very nice. Let's go ahead and pop the top and see what we've got inside here for this. Of course, take a look at all of the runners in just a moment. I want to take a look here first at the instruction manual. Our decals are also in here in this tiny little bag here. So not a whole lot of decals with this. As you can see, it's basically just there for the eyes and a couple little bits there. It's actually just eyebrows, mouths, and this little kind of marking there. As for the instruction manual, here we've got that render of the kit right there on the front. On the back side, just the Suyata logo. So you can open this up to the inside where we're going to have some more images, which again, as always, is great for posing reference. Kind of talking about some of the different features of the kit there again, about like the legs of it, the kind of frame of the legs. And then on the next page here, a couple more images of that. Next up, we've got a parts list before getting into the construction of the kit. So that's going to probably follow a pretty familiar process. If you guys have built any mecha musume kits before, you should have a pretty good idea of how that's going to go. Let's fast forward here to the end, or just kind of showing how to display it. We've got a few more reference images over here for the decal guide, where those decals are going to go there on the face. Obviously, it looks like the other decal goes right there on the center of the forehead. And then a couple images here on the last page, and that's it. Getting into the runners then, here we've got our pre-printed faces there. Those look really quite nice. We'll see how those look on the kit. We do also have a set of those unprinted, so if you do want to use the waterslide decals on those, you can. And the A runner is actually here in clear black for the parts for the display base for this. Looks quite nice. B runner here is in a really dark gray for some of the parts for the armor. The C runner in that same dark gray color is much larger. Lots of parts on there. We've actually got two of this runner there. The D runner here is now switching it up to this light lavender color. Looks very nice. And the E runner in that same color, again, we've got two of these on a much more larger, denser runner there. Runner F and G are kind of combined here, once again in that dark gray color for some parts around on the body. And then we have a second G runner here, which is in clear black. So you'll have the option of having these parts of the body in either this kind of clear black or that very dark gray color. So that's pretty nice. The H runner is here in this nice kind of pale orangish yellow. We've actually got two of the H runner, and then this one is also attached to the J runner up there, which is that little bit. Runner K is going to be our hair parts here in this light gray. Runner L is going to be our hand parts, and this is in the typical kind of softer plastic, as we see with a lot of mecha musume kits. Runner M is in clear red here for our effect parts, and it's a quite interesting sort of clear color. It does look pretty nice. We got a few more of those parts here on runner O as well. And then lastly, runner R for the rest of our skin tone parts for the kit. As you can see, we aren't going to have a whole lot of those, and that's it for all the runners. Alright guys, so here is the kit all built up in the kind of base form is how we'll look at it. Obviously we have a whole bunch of other different like weapons and equipments and stuff, and then we'll get into all of that here in just a moment. But as for the main kit itself, I do have to say I do really like the styling of this. Putting it together, it's pretty straightforward and very similar to like the Attack Girls line or the MS General lines. But it all comes together to look really quite nice, quite detailed in there as well. So you have some nice color separation, nice details there in the body, and overall it's a pretty cool looking kit here, and it's only going to be so much more impressive once we actually load it up with all of its different weapons and equipments and everything. So let's go ahead and take a look at all of that stuff here next. So obviously you can see one of the accessories that we have here included is the base, which has a couple of extra parts which you can remove or include if you want to around on any of the sides. There we have the main arm, which is going to hold on to the figure with a few different points of articulation there. I also have 4 of these additional arm kind of stands here, which we can use for mounting the equipment onto here, like for a display, and we'll take a look at that later. But as I said, this here is just kind of the base form, but we do have the unarmored form, and so we have all the different parts here for that, and all of them we have in plain black and also clear black. So like this is one of your thigh option pieces here in plain black and clear black. For the lower leg, here are those parts again, and the feet for the unarmored version here as well. And similarly for the unarmored arms, we have those simply here as well in black and clear black. And once you swap out the arms, replacing that yellow ring which is holding on to this piece of armor there on the side of the arm, you're going to put in this clear orange kind of ring right there. And for down here on the leg as well, once you disconnect the upper part of the thigh from the lower part to attach the new piece, you're just going to add this ring in between. There's a number of other parts that you're going to use for like in the knee joints and stuff, but other notable parts here for the body, for example, for the main part of the middle section of the body and the hip section, you have those also once again in clear parts, or the opaque version here for around on the hips. The unarmored version, you also have a plain black version here for this part right there in the middle of the stomach, if you didn't want to have that armor piece right there. And then for the part for the top of the torso where it's black, you have that in clear black as well. Looking at the faces, we have an optional mask with just a plain black mask like this instead of this kind of blue sort of decorative one here, but you can see a close-up look of how nice the pre-painting looks there on the face. And our alternate face parts, we'll take a look at how these look on the kit once we get into some posing, but these all look really quite nice. We've also got all of our hand option parts, which are going to include these closed fists, and then also peace sign hands and open resting hands. Now the important difference is that these don't have any like armor on the hands, whereas these other ones like the trigger finger extended hand, these open expressive hands, you can see have this kind of like armor detail on them. And then there is also just these regular weapons holding hands here, which as well also have the armor detail. Now getting into the weapons, starting off with the kind of smaller ones, you have just these swords, and you have these just little connection pieces for when these are not in use. And as you can see, these will just plug on via a hard point and just holds the handle, but once in use, you're going to attach this clear part there onto the sword. So we've got 2 of these. Pretty cool there, nice design and very detailed. Then getting into some of our longer weapons, here we have these sort of like a polearm style looking weapons here, like this. Then we have some kind of additional parts of these which will attach into there minus this long effect part, and that'll be kind of part of the backpack. This part here making it look like what you see right there on the backpack, and I'll get to that again once we get into the posing segment. But these on their own, very cool, and you can use the longer handle or you can use one of these shorter handles like one of these found on the flags here. So like this is like the main backpack equipment which is going to attach onto the back of the kit here. Lots of these very cool effect parts coming out everywhere. These flags are all kind of individually attached onto here. You can take any of them off. Because of all this kind of stuff going on here, it does kind of take a second to get the flags to be like lined up properly. But again, those clear effect parts do look pretty nice, and you'll see like once we get it into the full form, it's going to look very impressive with all of those effect parts. Then we have some more long weapons here. We have 2 of these long, these are also kind of just like long pole arms, I guess, or kind of like axes, sort of a very long handled axe, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what you would call it. It would just be a polearm, basically, right? I don't know. I'm sure one of you guys will let me know what the correct word for a weapon like this would be. But anyway, it does look very cool with a very large beam effect on that. It does look very nice. And then lastly, these couple of weapons here with the shorter handles. But again, you can swap the handles for the longer ones with the shorter ones. You can put these shorter handles onto any one of those longer weapons. This one is all able to open up. These lower parts can open up like that. This upper part can also, these parts can kind of open up, and this also makes for a pretty cool effect there, and we'll see how that looks on the full backpack again here in just a moment. But as you guys can see, you certainly have a lot of weapon options and equipment and stuff that goes with this, so that will give you a lot to play with. The main kit itself is going to have all the same kind of typical pros and cons of any kit like this. You are going to have some seam lines on some of these parts. You're going to have a pretty standard range of articulation for everything. The articulation is quite nice. A lot of great detail around on here. I think the clear red parts kind of in between some of the armor here and there do make for a nice little bit of color. And going up here on the head as well, that kind of clear part there for the flower, very cool. I do like how the hair looks as well. It looks pretty nice. But why don't we just go ahead and get right into some different poses here with this kit, checking out some of the different weapons and ways that you can have this kit displayed and posed. Like I was just mentioning, there's so much included with this that it really gives you a ton of possibilities as to how you want to display it, which is always really nice with kits like this. I mean, you want to get a lot of value out of the kit, and having not only the effects stand and the display for holding all the different weapons and everything that you can do with the different weapons, I mean, either attached onto the kit or in hand, you just have a lot that you can do with this, which is certainly very nice. And as for just the overall quality of the kit, it does have a ton of great detail in and around there. Color separation is all really quite nice. You do have some really small parts here and there that do provide some very nice color separation. That said, of course, with all that detail in there, you could go in and make it even more detailed. I guess you could go in with some paint and masking, and of course add even more little bits of color here and there, and everything else adding more detail to the kit by bringing out the different small details with some different colors and things like that. And because Suyata is a much lesser known brand, when I do reviews of kits like this, I will normally get asked questions like, how does it compare to Kotobukiya's Mecha Musume kits or Bandai's 30-Minute Sisters kits or anything like that? And I would say it's very, very reminiscent of like the Attack Girls kits or the MS General kits, as I mentioned before, which basically, in my opinion, not quite as nice as like Kotobukiya's Mecha Musume model kits, but they are really nice. And if you are especially a fan of the design, then you certainly won't be disappointed by anything with the kit. It's just kind of a matter of if you really like the design or not, and if you do, I would highly recommend the kit. Otherwise, fortunately, if you're a Mecha Musume model kit fan, we have a lot of different options these days to choose from, and this is another really great one. So if you guys are interested in checking out this kit for yourself, you can check the link in the video description down below to USA Gundam Store. We've got all sorts of different model kits like this and other similar ones from Suyata and other companies as well. So check those out and check out everything else there on the site, and let me know your guys' thoughts on this kit. If you guys have built this kit or any of the other Suyata Mecha Musume style model kits, what are some of your thoughts and what have your experiences been like working with these? How would you rank them kind of between or compared to the other Mecha Musume model kit lines from other different companies? And of course, if you guys do have any other questions about the kit, you can feel free to let me know in the comment section down below. But as always, guys, thank you so much for all of your support, whether it be liking the video, subscribing, making sure that you're subscribed if you're not yet. And as always, guys, hope you have a great day. I'll see you next time. Bye.